Hello everyone, Alicia here with another Lightened Up Weight Watcher friendly recipe, and today's recipe is going to be a lightened up version of one of our favorite sides to have for Thanksgiving, and that is green bean casserole. But we make our green bean casserole a little bit different than the kind of classic one that's out there. We call ours over the top because we add some things to it to just, make it a little over the top. So what I'm going to be doing is taking that recipe, I do have that on my channel, and I'm going to be lightening it up to make it more Weight Watcher friendly. So it will be a perfect side for your Thanksgiving dinner or whenever you want to have a really good green bean casserole. I'm also going to be filming another lightened up side for Thanksgiving, so be on the lookout for that. I'm going to be doing a lightened up sweet potato casserole. That was a viewer request. But anyway, let me jump into this one and I'm gonna show you what you'll need to make this. First off, you're gonna need 2 cans of green beans. These are 14.5 ounce cans, and I'm just using the cut. I've used the French style before too, and that works well, but this time I'm gonna use the cut. You're also gonna need a 10.5 ounce of cream of mushroom soup, 98% fat-free. You're gonna need some crispy fried onions. This is 6 ounces. I'm going to be using 3 ounces or half of this container. I'm going to be putting some in the casserole and then some on the top. Now in our original recipe we use buttermilk. Now you could use a light buttermilk. I never have buttermilk on hand typically though. So I'm going to be making my own, which is really easy to do. You're just going to be using a half cup unsweetened almond milk. And then to that you're going to add a half a tablespoon of apple cider vinegar or lemon juice. And you just mix the two of those together, and very simple, quick and easy buttermilk. Next up, for veggies, I've got about a cup of chopped up white onion there. And then here I've got 8 ounces of sliced mushrooms. Now you don't have to add the mushrooms if you hate mushrooms, but we love them. And I just thought it'd be a nice addition to this and a way to kind of bulk this up without extra points. Next up, you're gonna need some cheese. I'm gonna be using this Lucerne reduced fat sharp cheddar cheese. I'm gonna be using a cup of this. Some will be going in and then some will be going on top of the casserole. So instead of bacon, which is what we put on our traditional version, I got some of these real bacon bits. Now you can use regular bacon if you want, but that is going to most likely increase the points unless you use very, very little of it. I typically don't like to have bacon around because I would just end up eating it. I love bacon, so yeah, that's one of those things I try not to buy so that I don't eat it all. And then finally, you're gonna need some sliced almonds. I'm gonna be using an 1/8 cup of these. And that is all the ingredients. You're also, though, gonna need some cooking spray for your casserole dish. Oh, and I forgot black pepper. You could also salt this if you want. I think there's gonna be enough sodium in it as is, so I'm not gonna add any salt to mine. But that is everything, so let me get this started. The first thing I'm gonna do is I've got my oven preheated at 350, and on a small pan here, I'm gonna add my sliced almonds, which again is just an 1/8 cup. And I'm going to just kind of spread those out on my pan here. And I'm gonna just let those bake for a couple minutes just to get a little bit of a toasting on them. You don't have to do this step if you don't want to. I think it just adds a lot of flavor to the almonds, so I do it, but it's not necessary. But anyway, I'm gonna put these in the oven for just a couple minutes to get a little bit of a toasting on them. And then next up, I'm gonna get my buttermilk made, which again is a half cup of that almond milk. And then I'm just gonna pour in my half a tablespoon apple cider vinegar, or again, you can use lemon juice, whichever you have on hand. And I'm gonna just whisk the two of those together real quick. And now I'm gonna let that sit for about 5 minutes. And then in a large frying pan on medium heat, I'm gonna add in my mushrooms and onions. And you're gonna just cook those in there until they are nice and softened. And then here's my almonds. Those just took 3 minutes. You wanna, if you do this step, you wanna watch them very carefully because they do toast very quickly. So I'm gonna just let those sit there until I am ready for them. Those mushrooms and onions are looking nice and softened. So now I'm gonna take these off the heat and continue with the rest of this. In a large bowl here, I've got my buttermilk added in. Now I'm going to add in my soup and whisk the two of those together really well. Now I'm going to add in my sauteed onions and mushrooms, my 2 cans of green beans that I've drained, a little bit of freshly cracked black pepper, probably around 1/8 to 1/4 teaspoon. And again, you can add salt if you want. I've got my onions weighed out here, so I'm going to add half of those roughly in. And then same with my cheese. I've got that measured out, so I'm going to add half of that in roughly. And now I'm going to just mix all of this together really well. That looks good. So now I'm going to grab my casserole dish. And that is a 9x9. I'm going to spray it with my cooking spray. And then pour in my green bean mixture. I'll spread that out in there. And now this is ready to bake at 350 uncovered for about 25 minutes. I let that bake for 30 minutes. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to take my remaining cheese. I'm going to sprinkle that on top, along with my remaining French fried onions, my bacon pieces, and then finally my sliced almonds. Now I'm going to bake this for another 5 to 10 minutes until that is nice and melted on top. So I will see you at that point. Okay, I let this cook almost 10 minutes. It's looking and smelling really good. So now what I'm going to do is let it cool just a few minutes before I cut a serving size out. And then we'll give it a little sample and see what it tastes like. I let this cool probably not long enough, to be honest, because it's still kind of running in there. But I've got this factored in as 1/8 of the total, which is what I've got here. And that is going to be 6 points. So we'll go ahead and give this a try, see what we think of it. Smells really good. Hopefully it tastes good. Okay, we are both going to give this a try. I figured I'd pop over here on the other side of the camera since after my Halloween post where I was showing my leggings and I had at least a couple people say they had never seen me. I realized it had been a really long time since I'd been on camera. So thought I'd pop on this side for all my newer people who haven't seen my face. You can match my face to my name. What are you doing? Bring that back over here. Match my face to my voice. I think I said my name. He was stealing my food. I don't know what I was saying. Okay, so this is 6 points. And you know what the original tastes like because we love that.
This is better.
Better? Really?
Yeah.
No way.
It's got mushrooms in it.
Well, yeah, if you like mushrooms, I think the mushrooms was a good addition. I'm gonna give it a little taste. I need a little piece of
Totally my idea.
the mushrooms.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, no, it wasn't. But nice try. I gotta get a little bit of everything in my bite here. The bacon. Mmm. That's definitely good. Now, I don't know that I would say it's better. It's got a lot of flavor though. But when you're talking about using real bacon and bacon grease, that's kind of hard to beat or replicate, but it's definitely good. And definitely, I don't know that you would even notice that that was like a lightened
No, you'd have to
version,
have the other
right?
one in front of you.
Mm-hmm.
So
Definitely good.
this one, nothing's overpowered.
No.
And honestly, bacon is the #1 flavor of the other one.
Yes, because we use not only bacon, but bacon grease in that one.
But like the green beans are really coming through, which I don't think happened on the other one.
That's good.
Yeah.
That's got a ton of flavor. I'm definitely not disappointed with that lightened.
I would rather have this version
Well, then you don't have to feel so bad about eating it too, to be honest. All right, guys. Well, that was lightened up, over the top green bean casserole. Be sure to be on the lookout for the next Thanksgiving side, the sweet potato casserole, which he will not be partaking in because he does not like sweet potatoes. My son doesn't either, but I love them. So anyway, thank you so much for watching, and we'll see you on the next one.